Hey everyone, Izzy and MJ from Endless RVing. We have a really important video for you today. It's that time of year people are starting to put their RV into storage, winterizing. We're not going to really talk about winterizing today because we've done a video on that. We'll link it above. But this is in addition to the classic winterizing. There's a lot more that goes into prepping your RV for storage than just winterizing the line. So in this video, we're going to talk about everything we do to get Nelly ready for an extended storage.
So we're gonna start in the interior. So, I mean, I'm married to an OCD clean person. So what's one of the first things we need to do? And that's clean, really deep clean the interior. So we do a lot of things. We love Lysol wipes. We clean all the counters, the tables, everything. We'll get into places that you normally wouldn't think, you know, in here that are normally neglected. In here, clean the screens, inside all the cabinets. Toaster always goes away into a bag for the season. If you have a question, sometimes people say, do you leave things on? Do you take them off? We do leave, you know, cups and glasses and things like that. Any food, of course, we take inside with us.
So also included in the deep cleaning, all the windows, dashboard, upholstery, the top of the slides, stuff that you wouldn't normally get to. I steam out all the carpets. I get under the slides. I try to get as much, all the shelving. It's also a really good time when you're doing this to take inventory of what you need and what you don't need.
Izzy loves to purge.
And I already purged here. So I kind of like doing this alone because MJ's not around. And I can get rid of things without her knowing.
We've had many fights in our home that I'll be looking for something. I'm like, where is this? And then this little smirk comes on. I'm like, you threw that out, didn't you? Well, you weren't using it.
My philosophy is if you don't use it for a season, get rid of it. Especially on, you know, RVs, you're limited the weight. So here's an example. I already went through a purge, but we just did a little bit more. Right here, here's some things, they're going. We haven't used these in a while. We got 3 bags, mostly dog stuff because we're not bringing the dogs with us really much anymore. And they had a lot of stuff on here. So they're bags, they're toys. Bowls and trays, that's all going. In addition, I got rid of some chairs that we weren't using, like cleaning out the bays.
I went through all the stuff in the bathroom, the medicine cabinet, anything that we either didn't use or that we don't want to leave in here that we can use in the house during the season. Next thing is we remove all food. This is a new fridge. As you can see, if you've been following our travels, we had to get a new fridge. But there's nothing in here. Everything is gone. Same thing with the cabinets. The only thing we leave in our cabinets really is our spices. Okay, everything else comes out. We don't leave water. We have the water ready to take out the bottles of water because, as you know, New Jersey winters, it's going to be well below freezing. So we don't want to leave freezing water bottles in here.
So another important thing, and you should be doing this as soon as you get an RV, but you want to come back and readdress it. You want to plug any kind of holes from the exterior. A good way to do this is at night, turn all the lights on inside. If you see daylight from the outside, that means there's some kind of hole that not only bugs and draft can get through, but rodents can get through, and that's a big problem. So for example, and we've done this already, I just go and check them. If you see down below here, you see that foam, and you see like a little mouse deterrent. I don't know how well that works or not, but you want to go around, you want to fill with some kind of steel wool,
yeah, like
that they don't like.
Brillo.
Then foam. You know, foam it, and then that way rodents can't get through.
Yeah, not Brillo. I don't know why I said Brillo, but yeah, the steel wool, and we got tons of it.
Yeah, you can get it super cheap, just in rolls. It's fine.
So in our home, in our sticks and bricks, we've been having an all-out war with mice in our attic, and Izzy has no tolerance for mice.
I think I've caught, it's probably upwards of 15 of them.
He's researched, he Googles their patterns and like this crazy stuff.
Yeah, so same thing in the RV. We kind of live in we live in a wooded area. You know, they don't really like to be outside in the winter. The RV is cold, so they probably won't come in here, but we'll set traps and, you know, again, different deterrents. Mice will cause a lot of damage in your RV, especially if you're not in it for a couple of months and now they're multiplying. It's a big problem, so you definitely want to stay on top of it.
And knock on wood, we have yet to have a mouse problem on the RV.
So another thing you want to do in the winter, especially if you're on hookups, put a dehumidifier. Now you can put like those damp rids, they collect humidity. These work way better, guys. This one is from Amazon to Amazon Basics. I'm just going to show you. So I dumped this yesterday. It's been raining a little bit. It's kind of humid out. And remember, this is not the summer right now. We're in November showing this. I just want to show you how much this actually collected in less than a day to show you how much humidity is in here in less than one day. So we will keep this going. We're fortunate to be able to keep it in, but I just come in, dump it once a day. Now somebody's going to ask, what happens if you don't dump it and it overflows? We'll not do that. This has a safety mechanism that once that tank is filled, it will shut off. So if you dump it once a day, you'll be good, but it's something that's really important. I set it at 40% humidity, keeps everything dry in here. Again, moisture, mold, big enemy, big problems inside RVs.
Next one I really like to do. You might think I'm weird, but I do enjoy doing it. I didn't do it this year though because of my arm, but we deep clean our black tank. Some people say it works, some people doesn't. One thing it doesn't do is not gonna hurt. So we use the wand and we stick it down the toilet all the way down, and you know, we really give that black tank a good cleaning.
Now another thing, if you're not going to be in the RV for an extended period of time, especially if you're winterizing, you know, some of those winterizing fluids, they are alcohol based. There's two different types, but the alcohol based are usually the cheaper ones. You're going to winterize your toilet as part of winterizing your system, but that alcohol base can actually start eating up and corroding the actual seal here. And you notice that that's blue. So one thing that you can do, and we use this throughout the year, is the stuff from the Thetford is called Premium Toilet Seal Conditioner. And you just pour a little bit on top of that toilet seal and it keeps it moisturized, and it will keep it through the winter.
So we just started talking about winterizing, right? We're talking about winterizing, closing up shop. Today in New Jersey, it is 70 degrees, yeah. And it just started pouring out, but at least it's not snow, so.
It wasn't supposed to rain today. All right, so the next thing you want to do, you want to check all your roof seals, and you want to check all the seals on the RV. So roof seals, obviously, you want to check if they're cracked, have holes, brittle. You want to go and repair those. If you can't do that yourself, you want to have them repair. All the other seals, if you want to take this camera and just kind of show people what I'm talking about. We're talking about like seals like this, anything like by the windows, the front cap. Actually, if you can see up there in that front cap where the cap meets the body, glad I did it yesterday. There was some silicone. I just didn't like how it looked, so I cut it out. You cut the cancer out and then just put new silicone down, and it's nice and dry because we got rain today. So you want to make sure you do that, stay on top of it. It takes time, it's a little bit of a pain sometimes, but it will save you a lot of headache and a lot of money if you plan on keeping your RV for an extended period of time.
Next thing is something that we say actually every time you drive or you take your RV out for a trip, is to turn off your propane. So you want to shut that down for the season. The next thing is winterizing.
Now
even that saying that word makes me sad. We did a video on winterizing. We're going to link that up above.
Yeah, we're talking about the freshwater system.
Right.
We have that video MJ talked about. Just one quick thing. You want to make sure you hit all your lines, including if you have an ice maker, if you have washer, dryer, dishwasher, all those lines you have to do, and your toilet. You also want to make sure that you use this stuff, right? This is RV specific, RV Marine. You don't want to use the green stuff that like you put in your radiator because that's poisonous and you'll probably kill yourself today. But you want to use this non-toxic. You want to put this down the drains. You also want to put some in your holding tanks. That way if there's liquid in there, you don't want it to be dry and it won't freeze. Now the next thing is if you are in a place where you can plug in your RV, you want to plug in, that way those batteries stay charged. If you're in a place that you cannot plug in, if you're in a third-party storage, you want to remove those batteries and put them on some kind of trickle charger. Why do we say this? The batteries will automatically start discharging themselves. It's just natural. If you have lead acid batteries, it's way more than if you have lithium, but they're both going to discharge themselves and you don't want to kill your batteries.
Right, the battery disconnect is not enough.
No, unless you do a whole house, like you have a special that literally cuts everything off, but the batteries will still discharge themselves. So it's just better to take them out, put them on some kind of trickle charge or charger, and that way they're going to last you a lot longer. You're going to save a couple of bucks. So a couple of people have asked us regarding lithium batteries. As you may or may not know, we upgraded to Battle-Born batteries earlier this year. This is going to be our first cold season using those batteries. Now, some people are under the impression that lithium batteries get damaged in the cold. That is not correct. What lithium batteries cannot do, they cannot charge under a certain temperature. I believe it's like 34 or 32 degrees. If you charge them, it could damage the batteries. However, most lithium batteries, especially Battle-Borns, they have a BMS, a battery management system. If the temperature gets too cold, it will not allow the batteries to charge. So it's not a concern for me. It's not a concern for us. We're plugged in. If it drops below 32 degrees, the batteries won't charge. If it's above 32 degrees, the batteries are charged. So we're good. We are not in any way worried about damaging those batteries.
So stay tuned for the end to see how we complete this whole process here. And we're also going to talk about a lot of our content that's going to be coming up. Remember, just because Nelly goes under the RV, our content actually gets even better in the winter. So the next one is going to be washing the roof, washing the RV. Now we do this, of course, multiple times throughout the season. We never like to put Nelly away dirty.
Now, people may ask why. Number one, when you're ready to take the RV for us from outside the cover, we take it off, it's nice and clean.
Yes.
But the thing is, you know, washing an RV is really important. Car, anything, contaminants, right? Bird sap, I'm sorry, bird sap, tree sap, bird poop,
crap.
dirt. You don't want that sitting
Right.
on the paint. It's corrosive, like the bugs. It eats up the paint, eats up the clear coat. It looks like crap over time. Nellie's now going to be starting her 5th season next year. I'm touching the paint right now, and even though it's dirty, it's so smooth because I stay on top of it. Pay a lot of money for these things. It's a really good idea. Take an hour, 2 hours, just wash it, and then we'll continue down the steps that we do. All right, the next thing we do, if you're not going to be using for an extended period of time, if you have motorized, you want to put some kind of fuel stabilizer in the tank. I like to use Hot Shot Secret. It's a stabilizer, injector cleaner, conditioner. I like it. It works. For Hot Shot Secret, it's 1 ounce for every gallon, or sorry, every 10 gallons of fuel. So this would be obviously 8 ounces for 80 gallons. Dump it in there, turn the RV on, turn the generator on, let it run through the system, and then we're good. We're stabilized for the 3 or 4 months that we're not using it.
So the next thing, if you put your RV in storage, this is really important.
Or even at home.
Yeah, really important all year, but even more so now, especially if you're in storage and away from that RV, is you want to have tracking, GPS tracking on your RV.
Now for our GPS tracker, we've talked about this on other videos, we use WhereSafe GPS. There's other ones out there. The important thing is that you use a real-time GPS tracker. And what I mean by that is one that speaks to you proactively, one that you can speak to. How, like, does make this sense for the layman's terms? If Nellie moves from this area, we get an alert immediately that Nellie has moved, right? So that is what I'm talking about live. It speaks to us. Also, we're able to go into the app and we're able to see where Nellie is, how fast she's traveling, how long she's been there. All really good stuff. They're super cheap, guys, like $12 a month for the monitoring, and the actual units themselves are between like $200 and $300. It is
No-brainer.
a no-brainer. We also have a discount code. You save 10%. We'll link that below. Any other items that we've used on here, if they're available on Amazon, we'll link it in the description below.
The last one is a big source of arguments on
And it really shouldn't be.
social media, YouTube, whatever, is cover. To cover or not to cover. We are big proponents of covering, if it's done correctly. That's the thing.
Now, there's different types of covers. Obviously, the best is an indoor. If you can park in an indoor cover, that's going to be the best. Temperature controlled, environment controlled. We are unfortunate, don't have that option here. The next best thing, use an RV cover. When I say RV cover, RV specific cover,
not tarp.
Versus what we saw yesterday. We were driving yesterday and there was an RV covered with a tarp.
Like halfway, it was just hanging off. And
a tarp is not made to cover an RV that's going to hold moisture. It's not made for it. So RV specific cover, we use one. We'll link it below if you're interested in it. We've been doing this now since we had our Jayco for like 6 years.
Right.
It makes a difference. It makes a difference. RV specific covers are made for an RV. They have venting, which allows it to breathe. They're waterproof. We've never had a leak.
Well, that's the biggest thing people say is, I'm going to get moisture, I'm going to get
No,
mold,
you're not.
you know, but with these, they're made specifically, they have the vents, they move the moisture, so it's not going to be collecting inside.
Yeah, and they protect your RV from the ice, from the snow, from that changing weather, winds, all that stuff that you don't want your paint being exposed to. It gets protected and it makes a big difference.
So as I mentioned before, Nelly goes under the cover. Content does not stop. It sometimes gets even better. So we have some really great stuff coming at you guys over the next few months. Tons of really cool RV tours, more informational videos, our travels. In January, we're headed down to the Tampa RV show. We're going to have amazing RV tours there. We're hitting up our property, Mayaca River Motor Coach Resort.
In prime season.
In prime season, yes. We're going to do some videos there. We're going to have a ton of things coming at you.
So in the comments below, let us know, what do you do to prepare your RV for storage? We want to know. Maybe you do something we don't do, and we're always willing to learn something new. And for myself and MJ, it's a journey of a lifetime, and we'll see you on the road.